High God for life. Thanking Him for strength. Thanking Him for food, clothing, and shelter. Thanking the Most High God because He is good and His mercy endures forever. Thanking Him for my life. Thanking Him for the lives of my family. Thanking Him for your lives and the lives of your families. So we're gonna continue in this series of Proverbs, and we're gonna be doing the 6th and the 7th proverb. Proverbs, and again, just to set the tone, just like everybody else has. When you look at the book of Proverbs, what you're looking at is you're looking at a parent talking to a son. You're looking at a parent talking to a son. In some cases, it's the mother, and in other cases, it's the father. But what they're doing is they're talking to a son. So when it seems a bit male-oriented, the reason that it's male-oriented is because they're speaking to their son and speaking to him to allow him to understand the things to be careful of. One, as a young man growing up, and two, as somebody who's going to now rule over the people of God. So they say that, different reports say, some people say that Solomon was as young as 12 when he began to reign. Others say about 15, others say about 20. But just when you look at it, just consider some of the advice that we should be giving our children, male and female. In this case, it was a male, but just the advice that we should be giving our children and how to navigate the world, because the world is a real interesting place, especially in these days and times. Right. So we're going to start in the book of Proverbs, and we're going to start in Proverbs 6.
Proverbs 6, starting from verse 1. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. My son, if thou art become surety for thy neighbor, if thou hast struck thy hands for a stranger, thou art snared by the words of thy mouth, thou art caught by the words of thy mouth.
All right, so this is talking about a couple of different situations. He's saying, my son, or it's saying, my son, if you become surety for thy neighbor, meaning if you vouch for somebody, if you have struck the hands for a stranger, if you vouch for a stranger, if thou art snared by the words of your mouth, if you say something and whatever it is that you say now kind of gets you in a situation where maybe it wasn't the best advice, or it happened where things didn't work out the way you planned for them to work out. What it's saying is, if you get caught in any of these types of situations, if you do any of these things, come on.
Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself, seeing thou art come into the hand of thy neighbor.
Come on.
Go humble thyself, and urge thy neighbor.
Right. So what often happens is we get in these situations where we say something or do something, and it doesn't always turn out the way we expected. We vouch for somebody, and the person that we vouched for turned out to not be the person that we expected that they were going to be. So in any of those situations, what he's telling them is, you need to be upfront to go and fix the situation that was now created by you in any of these means. What we never want to do is, you don't want to get to the point where a situation happens and you want to ignore it. You don't want to get to the point where a situation happens and, they'll get over it. Where a situation happens where you know you were wrong, or you know you could have done better, or maybe you could have done things differently. You never want to get into those types of situations where that happens, and yet you still take a proud moment and say, they'll be all right. They'll be okay. The righteousness, the morality of it comes into play when you can acknowledge the things that you did that you probably could have or should have done better, and go to the person and say to the person, listen, my apologies. I didn't expect it to turn out this way, but this is what happened. I apologize. Hopefully we can do things a little bit better. Hopefully we can do things a little bit different. But what happens is when you can come to a person with that level of maturity, then even though the person may be hurt, at least they can appreciate the level of maturity in which you came, and it makes things to get by, to go over a little bit more smoothly, as opposed to if you just ignore it and act like it didn't exist. Come on.
Verse 4. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself as a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler.
So what you're going to see in this whole next section is it's not talking about just regular sleep, but what it's talking about is people that are lazy.
Right.
It's talking about people who sleep till 12, 1 o'clock. Get up, play video games, smoke a L, go to sleep, wake up 12, 1 o'clock the next day. Those are the things that it's talking about. It's talking about that lazy person who doesn't want to put their hands forth to do something for themselves. That's what it's referring to. So it's saying, give not sleep to thy eyes, neither slumber to thy eyelids. Talking about lazy people. And it's going to go on. Come on.
Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise.
Right?
Which having no chief, overseer, or ruler, provideth her bread in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest.
Right, because you don't need somebody in charge to tell you that you need to eat. Mm-hmm. You don't need somebody in charge to tell you that if you want the things that you want out of life, you need to make preparations for it. You don't need anybody in charge to be able to tell you that. And so it's telling you go to the ant because nobody in charge, yet they know that there needs to be food in this house come the winter. So now you need to work all during the summer to make sure that you have the provisions for when the winter comes. Mm-hmm. You need to work to make sure you have those provisions for when the hard time comes. We those people who we have expensive tastes with a not so expensive work ethic. Mm. So what happens is we find ourselves always wanting. We find ourselves always lacking because we daydream and talk about, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be a rapper. You ain't rap nothing. You ain't practice a jump shot. You won't know a 3-man weave, but you talk about you want to be a ball player. Mm-hmm. We want the finest things out of life, but our work ethic is not reflective of the things that we want. So then what happens? Disappointment comes. Because if you don't put out effort for you, nobody's going to put out effort for you. And so if you want something, you need to get yourself together, make a plan, and you can do it. Just do it for yourself. Because nobody's going to do it for you. Come on.
How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?
You know, and I know we kind of get into this thing about, and I know Chief Uziel talked about it last week. When we were coming up, I mean, I know they talk about bullying now. Bullying now isn't really bullying. I don't want to say that because I don't want to minimize anybody's experience. What I can say is if you came to school and your clothes wasn't right, people will make fun of you. Now people have uniforms and everybody wearing the same thing. You come to school, your clothes wasn't right, people will make fun of you. And so, and our parents didn't have it. So what we wanted to do was we wanted it. So what did we do? We went out and we worked for it. So we packed bags. I remember my first job was at 14, and at 15 I was going to high school. Right after I left school, I was working at KB Toys in Manhattan Mall because my mother didn't have it. And I wanted her to be able to take care of things that she needed to take care of. But me, I wanted nice stuff. I wanted to be able to go to school, and I wanted to be able to look fly, and I wanted the girls to, and all that. That's what we all want. But today, we still want those things and expect our parents to do that. And fortunately, some of us have that means to do it, and I think we did ourselves a little bit of disservice because we gave without people having to work, and now we just think money really go on trees. I mean, I remember one time I was talking to one of my daughters. I don't remember which one. I think I know which one it was, but I don't want to falsely accuse her. But she asked for something, and I was like, look, I don't have the money. I ain't got the money for that right now. And she said, yeah, you do. Just go to the ATM. And so I stopped because I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, I do have the money. We're not buying this right now. So I had to be a little bit more transparent. But that's the thing that our children today, they don't fully understand working for things and the value that you feel for yourself when you've worked for something. When I bought my first computer, I made sure nothing happened to that computer because I bought it. But yet when my mother will buy something for me, sometime, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Bought a pair of Jordans for your kid, and they come back with the Jordans all scuffed up. You talking about I was outside playing ball. And those? Like, for real? That's what you thought was a good idea? But what happens is when you don't work for it, you tend to take it for granted when everything is given to you. Come on.
Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep.
Because that's all it takes. Sometimes that's all it takes when you just a little bit too comfortable. I mean, I for the life of me can't figure out how you sleep till 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't the sun come shining in your window? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, well, how do you do it? No, I'm messing with you. Nah, but like, we just don't understand it sometimes. How you sleep till, like Shabbat come, and how your child sleep as much on Shabbat as you do. Shabbat rest is supposed to be for the people who work 6 days. That's what Shabbat rest is for. That's who it's for. If you ain't worked for 6 days, how we sleep the same amount? But that's just what happens sometimes, and we need to do better. We need to do better as parents. And I know we work so hard because we don't want our children to have to struggle the way we struggled, and I get that. But what happened, the flip side of that was we grew up a group of children who just, I don't know, they think money grow on trees or something. And I mean, we do okay, but we just do okay. So we need to work through that. We need to figure that out. But in the meantime, for y'all, if y'all want to help y'all parents do this, I'm gonna give y'all some advice. When your parents come home from work, just make sure the ain't no dishes in the sink. That's easy. I'm telling you, if you want the things that you want, do the easy stuff. The easy stuff is when you go after you eat a bowl of cereal or 2 or 3 bowls of cereal, because that's what we eat sometime. Just wash the bowl. Don't just toss the bowl in the sink and then the Captain Crunch get all hard on the bowl, and now we come home and now we gotta scrub a regular bowl when you could have just rinsed it off and just put it in the dish rack. Easy. Just make it easy, because when you make it easy, then they gonna want to do stuff for you. They gonna
spoon too, because if you don't tell them, they ain't gonna do it.
And don't just wash the bowl, but wash the spoon too. And we just telling y'all because we know sometimes that we don't tell y'all might not do it. Wash the bowl and the spoon. And I'm gonna just take it a step further. And if you had the residue of it, clear that stuff out the sink too. Clear that stuff out the sink too. We got a strainer for a reason. It catches all that stuff, so you just hose down the sink, and then it's easy. You just take the little strainer out, dump it out. You got a clear sink. You got happy parents. What else can you ask for? But we asking for a lot now. Brush the floor, all that stuff. Happy parents, you get stuff. Come on.
Verse 11. So shall thy poverty come as a runner, and thy want as an armed man.
Because what it's saying is when you get too comfortable, poverty gonna come. And so for anybody if you realize exactly what it takes for somebody to get to the point where they come in for an armed robbery, they in that mode, they serious. And it's telling you that the goal of it is, what it's saying is, you get a little comfortable, you toss, you turn, you feel real comfortable in the bed, and it said, so shall little folding in the hand, little sleep, little slumber, little folding in the hands. Y'all know how y'all sleep. Y'all know how we sleep. And it says, so shall thy poverty come as a runner, and thy want as an armed man. Because what's going to happen is you're going to look up, and you're going to be hungry, you're going to be thirsty, you're going to be needy, and you're not going to know when it happened because it just happens just that quick. Come on.
A base person, a man of iniquity, is he that walketh with a froward mouth, that winketh with his eyes, that scrapeth with his feet, that pointeth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, he deviseth evil continually.
Come on.
He soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. On a sudden shall he be broken, and that without remedy.
So it's teaching him the type of people to look out for. And so it's talking about a base person, a person of iniquity. He walks with a froward mouth. They wink with their eyes. They all over the place. They doing all types of different things. They can't stop talking. Sometimes they talk too much. And they all over the place. It says those are the type of people who you need to just watch out for because they have no intention, no good intention. They wink with the eyes. They scrape with the feet. They point to the fingers. But deviousness, frowardness is in their heart. But what it's also saying is God is real. Because at the end of it all, sometimes we may not necessarily be able to manage those types of people with the exception of keeping our distance, but God will. Come on.
There are 6 things which Jehovah hateth.
And so now, some of these you're not going to read in Torah. And sometimes what happens is we look at Torah and we don't look at the human aspect of things. Torah was given to us so that we can deal amicably one with another. That's the purpose of Torah. Most of the laws in Torah are civil laws where if you do this and I do this, then in theory we shouldn't have too many issues because we all keep Torah. Which kind of, when you look at the other hand of it, maybe the reason that we have so many issues because everybody not keeping Torah the way they should.
Correct.
But that's a different story. But when it comes to this, now he or she, whichever parent this is given a little bit more insight to things that you don't necessarily see in Torah. Come on.
Yea, 7 which are an abomination unto him.
Mm-hmm.
Haughty eyes.
So now, nowhere in Torah does it say you shall not have haughty eyes.
Right.
Some people say a proud look. Nowhere in Torah does it say you can't have a proud look. But what happens is with that haughty eyes or that proud look is a manifestation of how you are feeling when somebody is telling you something.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking to somebody, you're having a conversation with them, and you know that emoji with the eyes, the emoji with the eyes that go up? Just think about this. Because they rolling their eyes because you talking and you can talk to you blue in the face, but they ain't listening to nothing you saying, and they body language show it. One of the 6 things that God hates. Come on.
A lying tongue.
So now, little white lie, big black lies, all those lies, God hate those.
It's a lie.
So oftentimes we think, no, well, I need to lie to get out of this, or I need a lying tongue. One of the 7 things that God hates. Come on.
And hands that shed innocent blood.
We always ready to set it on somebody. We always ready to bring it to somebody. We always ready to do all of that. Hands that shed innocent blood. We ready to do things to people for no reason. Come on.
A heart that deviseth wicked thoughts.
So this isn't even an action. This is the thing that's going around in your mind that you just can't get out. The wicked thoughts. You constantly thinking about something negative. You constantly thinking about something hurtful. In the book of Jeremiah, it says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Same thing that God said to Cain. He said, yeah, sin is going to wait for you at the door, but you can rule over it. So it comes a point that when you're trying to make yourself better, you need to control the things that you think. Don't allow negative thoughts to live rent-free in your head for too long, because what's going to happen is as long as you allow them to those negative thoughts, what's going to happen is after a certain point, something is going to happen. You're going to act on it. You're going to do something. But just going back to what it says one of the 6 things that God hates is just the heart that devises it, that comes up with it. Before you even do anything about it, one of the things that the 6 things that God hates. Come on.
Feet that are swift in running to evil.
I mean, just real quick to do the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. Come on.
A false witness that breatheth out lies.
I always appreciate the way Torah expresses certain things, because it says a false witness that just breathes lies. Just everything you say
Just lies.
is just a lie. Can't trust anything you say. I mean, and sometimes just the smallest things. But one of the things that stood out at me, because in putting it together, it says a false witness that breathes lies. So if they're talking about a false witness that breathes lies, you're witnessing, you're talking about something. And oftentimes, because we do it all the time, we talk about something that we don't really know what happened. We only got bits and pieces of it. And now we take the bits and pieces that we have, and then people start asking questions, so we start to ad lib and fill in the rest of the story. Not knowing whether it's true or not, and oftentimes that's us talking about each other. Oftentimes that's us talking about something that happened that we don't know. Oh, I saw him walking past McDonald's. What was he doing walking past McDonald's? I think I saw him come from out of there, and I think he had some fries. I mean, he had something red in his hand and looked like McDonald's fries. Are you sure it was fries? I mean, he had something red in his hands. What you think it was? And then you leave it out there. And now we looking at each other funny because we have all of these different stories and wondering these talks about people, and we talking about each other, and most of it is false because nobody got no facts to back it up. And then even when we do have facts to back it up, most of the times we don't want to bring it up. We just want to be able to chat and have something to talk about. Come on.
And he that soweth discord among brethren.
And because the false witness that's breathing out lies typically tends to go to this part, which is somebody who sows discord amongst people. Us talking about people because we want people to feel the same way about a person that I feel about the person. I don't like the person, so I need to figure out a way and the right things to say to make you not like the person, so we can not like the person.
Right.
And those are the things that, not for nothing, we talk about Torah and we wonder why we can't stomach sometimes coming to service, and we wonder sometimes why we just can't stomach the face of people, because most of the time I know that you done said some things or did some things, and now I got to look at you. Nah, you can't get a shalom because it ain't there for me to give. It ain't there for me to give. But we talk, and just imagine it, because I know everybody has seen it, felt it, not seen it. Everybody has felt it, where somebody comes up, shalom, brother, shalom, sister, and you feel like, really? As if I don't know what you said or know what you did or what you tried to do. He that sows discord among brethren. We need to get to the part where when people start to talk about people, people will stop. When as soon as you come and say, let me tell you what I heard about Mac, that you like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Nah, yo, this is the juicy one. This is a good one. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Or, let me tell you what Mac did. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. That's what he did. That's what he did. All right, hold on 1 minute. Just hold on 1 second. Mac, I got such and such on the phone. You did this? And then let's talk about it together, because then it'll stop. That's when it'll stop. When you bring people together and you don't have all of the finger pointing, that I can guarantee you that's when it's going to stop. Get them on the phone. Oh, no, hold on. Just hold on right there. Yo, let's talk. Can you just repeat what you said? No. Say it with the same vigor that you said it to me a couple of minutes ago. Say it that way. Say it that way. And it'll stop. Come on.
My son, verse 20, my son, keep the commandment of thy father, and forsake not the teaching of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, tie them about thy neck. When thou walkest, it shall lead thee. When thou liest down, it shall watch over thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee.
Come on.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Right, because, and what it's showing you, listen, it's okay for somebody to give you some advice when, can I get a real one? Can I get a real one? Thank you, sir, I appreciate that.
That's the same.
Hold up. I lost my train of thought. No. Yeah, so like, it's okay for somebody to give you a piece of advice when they can look at you and clearly tell that you need a piece of advice. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And we shouldn't be so defensive that we can't take someone offering us a piece of advice. Because we all can acknowledge, nah, I understand, I'm not perfect, we're not perfect. So if you can acknowledge that you're not perfect, then you can acknowledge that I can offer you a piece of advice. And then once I give you the advice, guess what? You could choose to take it. You could choose not to take it. But it's okay. I'm not attacking you just because I offer you a piece of advice. I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong because I say maybe you can consider doing it this way or consider doing it differently. It's different. That's not to say you're wrong. That's just to say, how about you consider this? So that next time you're in a situation, you can kind of weigh out the options and then just consider different options as opposed to constantly doing things the same way that just hasn't been working. We get offended sometimes, but if somebody is coming to you with honest and true godly advice, maybe that's God talking. Maybe that's God trying to give you a message, and our inability to hear directly reflects God's ability to teach us how to be better. And so it says, so the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is the light. Reproofs are the instruction of the way of life. Come on. Because what's one of the things that it's going to do?
To keep thee from an evil woman, from the smoothness of the alien tongue.
To keep you from an evil woman or an evil dude. So now again, he's talking to his son. So because he's telling his son, I want you to watch out for the evil women, but it goes both ways. And so if today, and the things that you seeing in these days and times, and I know Chief Nav talked about this last week, if what you seeing in these days and times don't let you know that it's some strange and weird individuals out there, listen, then I don't know what to tell you. It's some real strange individuals out there. Guess what, right? I'm sure every one of those women that Tiger Woods that Tiger Woods messed around with, that got him in jammed up in the situation he probably thought every one of them women liked him for him. Bad haircut and all. Right. That's what he thought. Right. Sometimes, I'm going to tell you, sometimes you go to a person and you genuinely think, I think this person likes me. And they don't. Right. It's some people who just like you for what you could do for them. And that goes both ways. And the thing is they'll stay around long enough to tell you everything that you want to hear and make you feel however you want to feel until the time that it's time to go. What's his name? The MMA fighter. I'm not gonna go into the MMA fighter. I'm gonna go into a Baby. Everybody know Baby, right? Baby. He was with Cash Money. He was with Tony Braxton for years. She stayed with him for years. I mean, you want to talk about an investment? That was an investment. Stayed with him for years. And anybody who grew up thinking Tony Braxton was the finest thing out there was like, what she see in this guy? What she see in this guy? Him? Didn't even talk right. She stayed. He thought he liked her. Maybe she did. It's possible. They got married. Mm-hmm. They was together. They got married. They got divorced. And now she want half of cash money. Mm. Now she want half of cash money. So now it's just cash and not cash money because she getting half of cash money. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes that's just what happens. And people will stay around as long as they need to stay around to get from you the thing that they want to get from you. Women, sisters, you got a guy and he tell you all the things that you want to hear. Oh man, you so beautiful. I'm glad the Creator brought you into my life. It must have been fate. He'll look right in your eyes. He'll text you good morning every morning. He'll ask you how your day went. For as long as it takes for him to get what he want. And then once he get what he want, no more good mornings, no more texts, no more nothing. They came up with this term called ghosts. Because that's you. And so what the parent is saying here is, I'm giving you advice because I don't want you to get caught up in these types of situations where you get your heart broken thinking somebody liked you and they didn't. Kobe thought that girl in Denver really liked him. She liked her boyfriend earlier that day. And we putting it out there because we want y'all, like, listen, finding the right person is a beautiful thing. Sometimes it takes a lot to find the right person. I can't even imagine what the dating pool is like now because I look around and I see the things that people put on social media and I see the way people act and I'm just like, I'm glad that God took me out of this. Because you might have a boyfriend that got a girlfriend and a boyfriend.
You may be the girlfriend looking at her.
I mean, they said 4 out of 5 men in Atlanta, 80%. And again, people's lifestyle, I'm actually, for me, people's lifestyle is what it is. I don't particularly care what people do because it's not my business. My only concern is what people do as it relates to me. So whatever people do out there, listen, knock yourself out. When it affects me, that's an issue. And I'm telling y'all that the pool of women that's out there, long skirts and all, the pool of men that's out there, long fringes and all, is not really the greatest pool out there. And the only way that we're gonna do our part to create successful marriages or successful relationships is for us to raise our children not to be like everybody else. Because if I can raise my son to be a responsible husband, and I can raise my daughters to be responsible wives, that's my contribution. So that when they meet somebody, they know what they're bringing to the table. Right. On the other hand, I expect the same from every other able-bodied parent in here and in places like this. And unfortunately, because you see the results of things sometimes you see somebody who, I think I like your daughter. Nah, not true. Because these days and times, you need to look at people. You need to look at their family. You need to look at their uncles. You need to look at their grandparents. You need to look at people's family history, because some very concerning people out there wear the longest of fringes and sing the loudest, and house is destroyed. And I thank the Most High God that I don't know what this feels like, but I know I've seen parents who now have to split time with another parent, who have to split parenting duties with another parent, and the other parent is just not present. And it's hard. And it makes it even worse when the one parent is bringing them to service on Saturday and the next parent is bringing the child to service on Sunday. And the child grows up confused.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
25. Lust not after her beauty in thy
Because there be
heart.
some nice looking people out there, don't get me wrong.
That's right.
The summer is coming. People been lusting since March, because people always look for that first hot day to come out in the shortest and the tightest of thing. And it be men and women. Because, you know, you got the women that's coming out. Every woman is not made to wear a sundress. Every woman is not made to wear a sundress. Every dude is not made to wear skinny jeans with the cuff at the bottom. Every dude is not meant to wear that. Imagine me walking in here with a pair of skinny jeans with a cuff at the bottom. Because that's not for everybody. It used to be that you would wear fitted shirts when your body was right and you just came out the gym. It used to be that you would wear fitted shirts then. I remember, because I used to wear fitted shirts then. I can't walk in here with a fitted shirt now because it don't fit the same. Lust not after the beauty. Come on.
Neither let her heart seek out. Neither let her captivate thee with her
Oh,
eyelids.
man, you got some women that will look at you with just the nicest or prettiest of eyes. Did y'all see? And I'm going to go back to Toni Braxton for a minute. Do y'all remember the Toni Braxton album cover where it was just her eyes? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Cash Money lusted after the eyes. Cash Money lusted after the eyes. Because sometimes women be looking good. They be looking nice. Sometimes men be looking good. I presume they be looking nice. I presume. I have the responsibility to make this co-ed and make my message to be able to apply to all people.
Teach us.
So I presume that that's what they be doing. I know women be looking nice.
Facts.
Don't lust after that. Because guess what? Beauty, after a while, beauty don't always last. Hair don't always last. Long hair, long, pretty, full hair don't always last. Listen, a good set of teeth don't always last. Don't always last. That's why that Proverb 31, it said, beauty is deceitful and favor is vain, but a woman who fears Jehovah, she shall be praised. Because guess what? You want somebody who gonna be with you all the way to the end. That's what you want. I can't imagine. Look, I can guarantee you probably don't want to be a 60-year-old dude wearing skinny jeans trying to play the field. I can guarantee you. I'm just saying. Come on.
For on account of a harlot, a man is brought to a loaf of bread.
So when you look, so you usually see that word, and usually see that word zona, which means harlot. That's not what this say here. This says for on account of a isha zona, more like a whorish woman. A woman who has whorish types of tendencies. And what it says is, on account of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a loaf of bread. Means she will take everything. She will take everything. And you busy trying to spin, keep up. And I don't know if y'all notice, but there's a big thing now in these days. So this thing about men and leadership and leading the house, it's been coming up a lot over the last few years. But what also has come up with that is women who like, yeah, I shouldn't have to work. My man's supposed to take care of me. Shouldn't have to work. You're the provider. He's supposed to take care of me. All right, so when I'm providing, what you doing? You come home, food don't be cooked. Beds don't be made. But she's spinning. And she's spinning. And she's spinning. Dudes, I'm going to tell you, this is for dudes. I'm going to tell you, you get with the wrong girl, fine, cute, nice shape, all that, she will bring you to your piece of bread, and she'll have you on your knees crying in a corner when she leave. Anybody in here, any dude in here, you ever been like just punched right in the stomach, like right here? You ever been punched in the stomach right here real hard? That's what it feel like when she break up with you, except a punch in the stomach only lasts for a few seconds. A breakup lasts sometimes years. I don't know about a couple of days. Sometimes breakup lasts years. You still got people reeling off of breakups right now. They call it trauma. Said a man will be brought to a piece of bread. Come on.
But the adulteress hunted for the precious life.
Come on.
Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Mm-hmm. Or can one walk upon hot coals and his feet not be scorched?
Come on.
So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not go unpunished.
So we're gonna stay on these couple topics for a little while. Because what happens sometimes is we as people find reasons on why laying with somebody else's woman is okay. Oh, he wasn't treating her right. I mean, look, I want to say that this started with OPP, but it probably started a little bit before that.
Right, me and Mrs. Jones.
That was, you read my notes? I was going there, me and Mrs. Jones. Mrs. MRS Jones. Mm-hmm. But we come up, nah, he wasn't treating her right. Or on the other hand, he wasn't treating me right. He always leave. He leave me alone, and he leave to go to work, and he leave me alone. Ain't I supposed to be providing something?
Yeah, right. What do you want? Right.
Always talking about what your girlfriend got, and you ain't got, but you want me to go out and get them for you now.
If you think you're lonely now,
You think you're lonely now.
wait until tonight.
Wait until the night, girl. So we find these reasons. She find these reasons. And what happens is we become empathetic for somebody else's situation. But the parent is preparing the king to tell him, yeah, can one walk on hot coals and his feet not be scorched? You could best believe that just like you walk on hot coals and your feet gonna be scorched, you could best believe that he who touches somebody else's wife, you will not go unpunished.
That's right.
Come on.
Men do not despise a thief if he steal.
So, hold on a second. And I like this portion because sometimes we feel like we feel like we can offer mercy where God don't allow mercy to be offered.
Right.
Talk about that.
That's just is what it is. Right.
We want to be sympathetic and empathetic when there's no place for empathy to lie. I mean, I get it. Right. I understand. But it's giving you a perfect example right here of why judgment is what judgment is.
That's right.
What God decided to do is what God decided to do. Come on, can you start all over and read this again, please?
Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry.
Come on.
But if he be found, he must restore sevenfold. He must give all the substance of his house.
This is the advice that they given to the future king. They said, listen, men, people, don't despise a thief. If what other better reason could you have to steal? If he steal to satisfy his hunger. I was hungry. My baby was hungry. My baby was crying. My baby couldn't sleep. I was hungry. He steals to satisfy his hunger. Men don't despise him.
Right.
They preparing the future king to tell him, but if he be found, he must restore sevenfold. Regardless. Because there's no reason, no parameters that's going to allow you to break God's law.
That's right.
Because guess what? If you hungry, you could come to somebody and talk about it. If you hungry, you could come to somebody and ask for help. If you hungry back in the days, and this is back in the days, if you really hungry, and back in the days, you can go to somebody's field and you can start picking and you can start eating. You start picking and you can start eating. It said if he steal to satisfy his soul, when he hungry, he must be restored sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house.
That's right.
Because guess what? When you steal from me, because your soul was hungry, your soul ain't the victim. I am.
Right.
Because I'm the one that's stolen from. I'm the one that's now out. Because your soul was whatever your soul was. What about my soul? What about whatever you stole stopped me from now not being able to help my family? He'll give all the substance of his house. Come on.
He that committeth adultery with the woman lacketh understanding.
Mm-hmm.
He doeth that which would destroy his own soul.
Mm-hmm.
Wounds and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, and he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. Hallelujah.
So listen, I don't know what Puff was doing. I don't know what Sean Combs was doing. You can't put your hands on my wife. You can't touch my wife. You can't hug her for too long. You can't do none of that.
That's right.
Because jealousy is the rage of a man.
Talk
Put your
about
hands on. It's all the women that's out there. All the women that's out there. And if it ain't no women out there, that's not my issue. It says, wounds and honor shall he get. His reproach shall not be wiped away. You touch somebody's wife, most people, I can't tell, it's a new generation of men that be like, yeah, okay. I'm not that generation of dude. It's this new generation of dude that come talking about, yeah, I know she's pregnant by somebody else. I'm going to help raise the baby.
What?
I'm not that generation of dude.
Yikes and strikes.
I'm not that generation of dude. Caveman, call me what you want. I'm not that generation of dude. And if I catch you, I'm going to hurt you. Her, I might not hurt. Because that's a separate situation. But you, it says, he will not regard any ransom. You could offer whatever it is that you want to offer. You could give whatever it is that you want to give. He will not regard any ransom. Neither will he rest content. Why? Because once somebody put their hands on your wife, You don't sleep well at night no more. You can't rest well. You don't feel comfortable anymore. How y'all lay in the same bed after that? How you kiss her after that? How you kiss her after that? That's what I want to know. Some people do. And I just want to know how you kiss her after that. Everything that you and her do, her and he do. How you kiss her after that? And I'm bringing it this way because this is what he's telling you. This is what he's telling you. He's telling you that's what I'm saying. If you go and you mess with another dude, listen, don't ask. Don't ask to forgive me. Don't ask. I'm not that type of dude.
That's right.
God don't command me to be that type of dude. Come on.
Chapter 7, verse 1. Hallelujah. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my teaching as the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thy heart.
Listen, and this is the thing, right? When it comes to your children, children get this thing where, oh, my parent this, my parent that. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody have your best interest in mind as much as your parents do.
Thank you.
Nobody. I don't care how much she liked you. I don't care how much he liked you. I don't care about any of that. Nobody has your best interest in mind as much as your parents do. And that's the thing that happens. That's why sex becomes such an issue. Because what happens is once you with a person, male or female, and they start to like rub your hand a certain type of way, and they start to pull with their hand through your hair a certain type of way, you start getting emotionally attached to them, and then you can't think straight anymore. That's one of the biggest reasons why people don't need to be having sex when you in school. You need to worry about math. You have a hard time with math. You having a harder time with English. You even having a hard time with gym when you start getting in love with somebody because you don't even want to go to gym no more. And that's where you hang out with the boys, and that's where you play basketball and all that. But you don't want to do that no more because all you thinking about is her. Oh, I love her. You 13. Oh, I love her. She smells so good. It's doublemint. Like, we just get so worked up over everything. We get so worked up over everything. And that's why, because we are so, that's why it's important for you to listen to your parents. That's why it's important for you to select the right person. Because guess what? When your parents, when you bring a person to your parents or your guardian or whoever it is, that person or their guardian is looking at this person like from a different way than you looking at this person.
That's right. Teach that.
You looking at this person like, oh, he's so cute. She's so cute. She smells so good. Oh, you see stacked. That's what you looking at. And your parents are looking at, okay, well, do you have the ability to keep a job? Do you have the ability to keep a house? Do you have what it takes to take care of my child when things don't go so well, which happens more often than not? Which happens more often than not. You know how many people didn't listen to their parents and they woke up one morning and they kids was on a midnight train to Georgia. Because y'all couldn't work it out. Parents ain't perfect. But parents, those are the things that parents look for to make sure that you have a better chance, because parents have been through a lot of the things that you just have not. Come on.
Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the alien woman.
Talking about this strange and alien woman again. Because women have been the downfall of so many people. Men have been the downfall of so many people. You see Troy. Remember Troy? That whole war, and Brad Pitt got killed and got shot in the foot. All of that what? Over a woman. Remember the time video? The whole situation, Mike, because he was looking, giving eyes at Eddie Murphy's wife. I was about to say something. Worst thing. But either way, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. Come on.
That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the alien woman that maketh smooth her words. Because
sometimes people say the smoothest of things. I said this before. I'm going to tell you again. Me, I don't blush. I don't smile too much. I don't blush. People give compliments. I don't like it. That's just not me. But I'm going to tell you, like I told y'all this before. I was going into a restaurant one day. Going into a restaurant. I held the door for this lady. Lady stepped out the door, looked at me, and this lady said, "God bless you and all your manliness." I was stuck. I was standing there holding the door. The lady was on her way across the street, and I was just stuck. Because sometimes people know how to give up. Man, people know how to say some things. People know how to say some things that'll make you just reevaluate everything in life. I'm telling you, it's some people, it's some women that will say some things that will make you be like, you know what? Send my check to her address. Some people that's going to say some things and they're going to mean it until they don't. Come on.
For at the window of my house, I looked forth through my lattice, and I beheld among the thoughtless ones. I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding.
Just think about that for a minute, right? This person, the parent, said they looked out the window and they was able to see a person, a guy, and just from looking at this person, they was able to tell this person is void of understanding. Just from looking at him. Sometimes you look at some of these people and they just so happy-go-lucky, and you could tell immediately that person is void of understanding. And that's what this parent saw. They watched it from the beginning, looking out the window, void of understanding. Out of all, it said, I discerned amongst the youth. So there was a bunch of them out there, hanging on the corner. This one, I said, that one is void of understanding. And just like a prudent person can look out and see somebody that's void of understanding, somebody looking for a victim can also look and see somebody who's void of understanding.
Good point. Yeah.
Come on.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I like to give compliments, and for my reason, it's from my heart that I like to encourage people to continue to do good things that I observe. So I just hope that I'm fixing that situation. Because this is what I would do, but from what you're saying that you don't have good understanding to that, I will cease because I don't want to be in that position.
No. Compliments are good. There's nothing wrong with compliments. Compliments are absolutely good. I'm talking about the intention that some people have behind their compliments. That's what we're talking about here. Some people have good intentions behind their compliments, and some people got intentions behind their compliments. Come on.
Verse 8. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house.
He said, passing the streets to her corner, meaning that corner belonged to her. Come on.
In the twilight, in the evening of the day.
Sun was just going down,
In the
starting to
darkness
get
of,
dark. Come
in
on.
the darkness of night, and the darkness.
Come on.
And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and wily of heart.
So whatever she was wearing, she let him know from what he was wearing, you could get it. Come on.
She is riotous and rebellious. Her feet abide not in
So
her
now,
house.
I'm not saying, I want to be clear, I'm not saying that just because you don't be in the house that mean that this fits you. But what I am saying is you got some people and some women who never be in the house. And that might just be they never be in the house. People, grandparents, like when I was growing up, my grandmother, we would go to her house. It was some fried chicken there. It'd be some potato salad there. It'd be ice cream in the fridge. That's what used to happen when I would go to my grandmother's house. Today, people's grandmothers don't have fried chicken because people's grandmothers be in a club. And people's grandma about to be in a concert that's coming up over there tonight at the Barclay that some people rushing off to. Grandmothers be over in them places.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Now she's in the streets. Now in the broad places, and life and wait at every corner.
Come on.
So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face she said unto him.
Listen, it says she walked up to him, looked at him, and kissed him, and said with the most sincere of faces, God talk. Come on.
Sacrifices and peace offerings were due from me. This day have I paid my vows.
This day I already gave my sacrifices. I already paid my vows. And I now about to pay you. Come on.
Therefore came I forth to meet thee, to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I have decked my couch with coverlets.
Right. Listen, the whole house is ready. She got incense burning, and she got candles lit, and she got all of that stuff all over the couch. This like sprinkling roses and all of that stuff all over the couch. And she telling him, I got all this ready, and I came to meet you. Mwah! She kissed him. Draw him in, because as soon as she did it, now he, okay, all right, maybe, all right, sure, with the amount of STDs that's going around, with the amount of people who have herpes, they say 1 in 4, the amount of all of these different things that's happening, I still don't understand how people feel so comfortable with a one-night stand. How you feel so comfortable? Especially if you married. And you go and you bring that back home to the house. Now you can't drink out the orange juice container no more because you got the thing on your mouth. How you so comfortable? Come on.
I have decked my couch with coverlets, with striped cloths of the yarn of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
I don't even know what myrrh is, but I'm ready to get some. I mean, I know what cinnamon smell like. I can't imagine sprinkling cinnamon on the couch, but I'd be like, sure, whatever. I said, sure. I guess it go good with myrrh and aloe. But whatever this was, she got this young dude hooked. Come on.
Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves.
As we slept the night away, as we lay. That's what she told him. It didn't matter. Out the sunshine on your sleeping face. Come on. That's what she told him. Come on.
For my husband is not at home.
Whoa.
He is gone on a long journey.
Whoa, but hold on. It says, for my husband is not at home. But when you look at it in Hebrew, it don't say he not at home. It say he not at his home. It say Beto. He not at his home. The home that I just invited you to come to. He not there. His home. The home where he paid the mortgage at. Where I sprinkled the myrrhs and aloe and cinnamon. His home. He not there. And he been going all month. And I'm sick of this. I'm tired of this. He always leaving. Because he always got something to do. Come on.
He hath taken the bag of money with him. He will come home at the full moon.
I don't know what he doing over there with that bag of money. And I'm not worried about what he doing over that bag of money. Because I'm just talking about me and you. Come on.
With her much fair speech she causeth him to yield. With the blandishment of her lips she enticeth him away. He goeth after her straightway.
And sometimes when we be, I'm not saying girls don't like you, but every single girl in the world don't like you. Might be some. Everyone don't like you. And so when you have somebody who's constantly, and she feeding them, and he just eating it all up because she looking good, and she's smelling good, and she's smelling like Chanel, and she just feeding it up, and she offering him no strings attached. Come on.
He goeth after her straightway, as an ox that goeth to the slaughter, or as one in fetters to the correction of the fool.
And it's saying that he just not even thinking about it. She done mentioned husband. She done mentioned all of this, and none of that mattered because he was enamored. None of it mattered. And it said, and she took his hand, and her hands were so soft. And she took his hand and she, bring me back to my house. And I'm looking at all this out the window. And I see all of this happening. And she bring him back to her house, his house. She bring him back to his house. And it says that he going straight away as an ox going to the slaughter. He going and he don't know that this time might just be the last time. Come on.
Till an arrow strike through his liver, as a bird hasteneth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is at the cost of his life.
See, I don't know what an arrow strike to the liver feel like, but something tell me it don't feel good. It said that a bird hastened to the snare, and knoweth not that it's at the cost of his life. You know what a snare is? You know what a trap is? Mm-hmm. The thing about a trap is it need to look good, and for you to get caught in the trap. If she don't look good, if she 5x5 side by side, then it's not really a trap because it don't look good. But as a bird hastened to the snare, this is him not knowing that the act that he's about to do, not considering that the act that he's about to do is going to cost him with God. So when we tell you to look out for these things, when we tell you to watch out for these women or these men that say the smoothest of things, when we tell you to watch out for those people, just hear us. Because I'm telling you, because we know. Some of us been there. Some of us saw it. All of these different things. But the last thing that you want is to be in a situation where you done laid with somebody else's wife, and now you got to deal with God and that dude. Because God might just allow that dude to deal with you in a way that you wouldn't even imagine. Or God might do you one better. That's the thing about God, right? God might do you one better. You out there and you done mess with this man's wife and everything might be okay. But then you got a wife. And you show up somewhere thinking your wife, who been so wholesome and pretty and pure and all of those different things, and you walk up on your wife hugging up on some dude with some gray sweatpants. And now you got to deal with that. Come on.
Now therefore, all ye children, hearken unto me, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thy heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths. For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, a mighty host are all her slain. Her house is the way to the netherworld, going down to the chambers of death. Hallelujah.
All honest, praise, respect, acknowledgement, and thanks all unto the great King of the universe, to the God of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, thanking him for all things and everything. I bid you in the tongue of our forefathers. Shabbat Shalom L'kol.
Shabbat Shalom.